お疲れ様です。ともぞうです。レインボーシックスシージの動画、今回もやっていきたいと思います。今回はハイライト動画となりますけれども、EU からハイライトピックアップしていきたいと思います。こちら最新のランキング、Day7 まで終わっているのでランキングになるんですけど、ごめんなさいね。これ素材がなくてですね、ちょっとちっちゃくなっちゃうんです。これ以上引き伸ばすとね、ちょっと荒れちゃうんで、これぐらいのサイズで見ていただければと思います。現在、ヒロイックが18ポイントで首位を飾りました。ラインがグリーンになってると思うんですけれども、これでヒロイックは初のメジャーですかね。コアなゲーミング時代からも数えて初の世界大会進出となりました。そしてまだ2位、3位、4位は固まっておらず、2位がローグ、3位が LFO、そして4位が G2、そして5位が BDS となっています。アウトサイダーズ、MNM、ナビ、シークレット、そしてポーンズと続くんですけれども、ポーンズはすでにメジャーの可能性が Day7 の段階で消えているという形です。アウトサイダーズ MNM、ナビ、シークレットも数字上はまだ残しているんですけれども、正直5位、6位の間が3ポイントとなりますので、なかなかちょっと厳しいかなというところが正直なところです。なので、残り3枠は、ローグ、LFO、G2、BDS あたりで決まるんじゃないかなというふうに予測しています。さあ、EU 残り2節なんですけれども、今回はその Day7 にして早くもメジャー進出を決めたヒロイック。このヒロイックの強さに関して少しハイライトを作ってみました。選んだ試合は先週の Day6 の試合ですね。ヒロイック対 BDS。非常にね、お互いに質の高い3走での攻防となったんですけれども、わずかの差でヒロイックが差し切ったという試合展開となります。そのあたりが、BDS もね、ポイント獲得苦しんではいるんですけれども、決して内容は悪くないかなと見ています。それ以上にヒロイックが上手かったという点を、このハイライトで拾っていければなと思っています。それでは見ていきましょう。まずは第2ラウンドから。前半戦は両者とも一歩も譲らず、BDS もここまでポイント獲得に苦しんでいますが、今シーズンもハイレベルな CG を見せています。そんな BDS の鋭い攻撃を壊したのはベンジャー。3走では防衛の裏取りが重要になるんですけれども、その裏取りがまさに決まったシーンを見ていただきましょう。
2 minutes on the clock. There's plenty of time, especially when they use these EMPs to just open up whatever wall they want. There's nothing they have to stop that there. So, yeah, the Thatcher being open is definitely changing things here.
Wow, these grenades and bouts of pressure, they're working out and having the conversation of how do we pull this man out whilst also keeping the bits that we want, because to be fair, the land he's in is what we want. The drop and the rotation away, they've been able to open up the box. There's a little bit of sticking power here from Gogona. He's going to see if he can try and lean in and find a fight in the opener, but as more of this wall starts to get popped open, he's able to almost strike. There's the connection. Takes care of Shaiko, drops himself back down. He's ready to go for another, but he's about to have a grenade meet him in a bit of a corner of a fate. There it is. Perfectly played as a response by Renshiro, and now the pressure continues above.
ADS was out of reach there, unable to catch line of sight onto that ADS, and that means it's a 4-on-4. A minute left, however. Suddenly the time ran quite low. Luckily, you lost Shaiko. It's not a sentence you very often say, so your execute could still happen. You still have the EMPs, you still have some Excaros, and that means that with this exothermic, you're going to be able to open it up. You just need to find these kills. You just need to find Sloth. He's about to drop down due to the C4 in pocket. He can toss up to stop this plan from happening.
That's it. If he's underneath and they don't have the full lockdown, it can be a little bit of a big blow. Renshiro, once again, making sure he gets a statistic back in their favor, but Benja has one of his own, a double kill. And now they're able to, for the first time, hold onto that man advantage and keep it for at least the 5-second window after they get the kill. Playday has a long sight line, but it's about to be pressured from above, and with Sloth underneath with a C4 ready to go as well, he just has to wait for the right call. Uno's a bit of a backline. Benja's still super curious about this rotate. If he times this well, he can bite perfectly, and to be honest, with 15 seconds, it's about as well as it can be timed. The pings come through, the spray onto one, gets the triple. Now it's just a little bit of a drive onto the site. Playday doesn't get too far. Heroic, bring it back.
They bring it back 1-1, and well played by them there. They had one on side, one above, and one below.
ラウンド5、BDS のシャイコといえば固定でオペレーターを使うことで有名です。昨シーズンまではほぼイアナだったんですけれども、今シーズンはフィンカを多用しています。さらに前への推進力が強くなったシャイコの活躍をご覧ください。
From the bulletproof camera is a bit too late, so it's not going to stop anything for now.
Well, Gogona pulls himself a bit further back, and I remember last time when he got hyper-aggressive and it nailed a kill. It's not an easy game to play, especially if they'll be more aware of it. Shaco's trying to find a swing of pressure around onto Piano, but it's actually going to be the lock-in. Gogona goes on an adventure, and a pre-fire leads to a kill. There's a bit of revenge for the catch that was made against him on the previous round, but it's a different operator in the same hands. Grizzly taps his toes slightly further back and pulls away from Shaiko. A bit of a loose grenade throw there, and that should... Got the ADS, but not the shield. I can't explain the physics of the maths. All I can know is that's a bit of a blow for Grizzly.
The first kill, by the way, that came through, a phone call came in. However, with the Mew Jammers there, players were not being spotted out. So Kagona able to sneak around like he just tried to do again. However, Lems and Shaiko both will be able to find a kill. And now the pressure on the site starts to arise. However, still two players up on that top floor for Heroic might be the saving grace here. If they do push back too many of the members of BDS, they're going to be able to retake this and stop this plan from happening.
Do they know they got rid of that ADS on the side of Grizzly, though? Because they'll see that the grenade popped off, but it didn't quite catch the shield. There's curiosities to be paid and caution in the pocket of BDS. They might think Grizzly is more protected than he is. Grizzly knows he's not, and he pulls back 30 seconds on, and they still have some bodies watching above. They've got to be cautious. They don't just try and swing the site below because it's the game that was played before. Benja gets an important take over the top, keeps that vertical control, which was that integral piece of the final part of the puzzle on the previous attempt here. Great take from Shaiko Ram behind the double-stacked box, but it's this movement, this top control, the spray through and a response, but it stops the plant. There's a catch on a player. There's a bit of revenge. It's a 2 versus 1, but that single player is on the second story. Goes for the rotate. Can't see the body. They've moved on to the other side. A late call. And that puts them in a very tricky situation here that Shaiko quickly removes him from 3-2 BDS.
Position given away as soon as he started shooting. The pings afterwards coming.
ラウンド7。この試合、最終的に振り返るとヒロイクが防衛を3本通せたのが大きかったかなと思います。それだけ3走はまだまだ攻撃マップ。攻守交代してから攻撃に転じたヒロイクのお手本のようなサンルーム攻めと55の爆発をご覧ください。
Yes. Grenade does come through, deals a little bit of damage to Playday, actually takes care of the ADS as well, so a second one will be tossed in, and that would net to kill. If Gorgona had the ankles, we'll get it on the retry, but Playday should have been dead earlier there.
That's it, the Jaeger's caught out, and there's Benja really testing the end of the belt there with Finker, and doesn't quite get the grenade catch either, but forces them into a slightly further situation. Being able to hold the trigger for that long, still having 29 bullets, you assume they'll go for a reload before they go back in, but it really shows what it can offer and offer Shaiko. Caught out at the top there, Sloth waiting and watching, finding his first for the whole game.
I was going to actually say, it amazes me how players find these heads so often, but then aesthetic piece of utility, they just struggle to hit, but Sloth's first kills, not something we do very often see about the man. He is very often on the leading charge of Heroic, so it's good that he's in the game now here in the second half. Let's see if he can find any more. He's playing around the piano. Seems like Lems is looking to retake some of that top floor here. He also knows how important it is, but he has no clue that Grizzly is this close. He's on that flank watch, not using any of the air jabs on this door. Believe he has none left. No, so he needs to do it manually here. He needs to hold it with the gun. But as long as he's there, it's a bit of safety for the side of Heroic.
Well, Gorgona's getting some width here, and they know there's a player on the spot, but Lems, he just has to time this right. Pings come through, there's C4 that opens the bit of width, gives the game away that he's there. They're watching, and Gorgona's watching Renshiro inside the site. A canister caught, absolutely caught out. And Rafal goes down as well. They're going to see if they can stick the plant. Lems has to go for the pressure onto the site itself, but it's being fervently watched by Heroic on every which way. It is a repeat of the first round. It is, however, a flawless in the other team's pocket.
先にマッチポイントを取りましたけれども、最終ラウンドまでもつれるこの試合。ヒロイックにはベンジャーをはじめスロース、ゴーゴナと打ち合いに定評のある選手が揃っています。しかし、ガンファイトに頼ることなくラウンドを作ってきたヒロイック。この最終ラウンドもフラグにより状況を打開していきます。シャイコすらもまともに打ち合わせてもらえない BDS。フラグでしっかりと防衛ラインを崩していく素晴らしいヒロイックの攻撃をご覧ください。
And whilst his magnets have been shot out, he knows as well he's not quite prone to someone instantly jumping in, but he can still respond to it because he didn't shoot these drones. But he might be trying to bait out some utility here. 2 magnets placed, remember? So 2 flashbangs can come in, but also 2 grenades. And that is maybe what he's trying to bait out. I'm not quite sure. As an EP comes through though, that is going to be an almost successful grenade. And he will be caught either way. So a small oversight coming in from Shaiko there.
I guess one of the drones did see him and, well, they sort of took his bait and said, he is one of ours. Now, what can they do with this pick? It was a very well-played trap, and they've got to see if they can try and close it out now. Four more players and another story to break their way through. They're looking at the control here over the top floor. Rafal and Renshiro are still in those two power positions. The removal of Shaiko doesn't actually change the structure of what this hold is. There's still a lot of work to be done. The spray over the top and a bit of a response from Rafal, but the grenade sort of says goodbye. And, well, there's an intense removal of 5 versus 2. And suddenly they're finding themselves slipping further away. Alems, he's trying to find his way back round to the site as Benja's holding off above. Gorgona wants to go for the swing. The single player on Pantry could be a big part. Iruno's hoping that he goes for the swing on the other side, but he needs to wait for another person to offer him some support. Alems, he's waiting. He's holding onto this angle, but he just pulls off at that final second, expecting a take from the stairs itself. It's Playday caught on the drone. They know he's there, so he moves elsewhere. Close on the wall there, close on the door. Uno, do you know how close he is? Could take the hop, but nobody likes to fight and shoot when they're going over a small ledge. It's got to be the time. There's the catch, the bait on the play there. Hopped over. Alems is still locked out on the other side. He's got a pretty impossible task ahead of him, but at least catches the first. They know exactly where he is and prove it. Heroic! They're able to lock it off with a pretty stellar performance and a side from Sloth, but you can't win them all, so at least the rest of your team can.
The fireworks, actually, no, it's not the fireworks, it's the bucket lead animation. Sounds like fireworks coming through there, but well played by Heroic. And just to break down that last round, Shaiko saw the drones.
さあ、というわけでいかがだったでしょうか。最終的にスタッツで話していきたいと思うんですけれども、このね、ハイライトの中ではピックアップすることがなかったんですけれども、僕やっぱね、ウーノの加入がかなり大きいかなというふうに見ています。昨シーズンの、コアなゲーミング時代、相変わらずベンジャがすごく活躍してたんですけれども、やっぱりどっかベンジャ頼みというところがあって、それもどちらかというと結構ガンファイトでベンジャに崩してもらわないと状況を打開できなかったというところが多かったんですけれども、先ほどの最終ラウンド見ていただいたら分かる通り、フラグでキルもありましたけれども、基本的にはフラグでどかして別の人が車線を引いていくっていうのは全体的に連携の統率が取れているというところだと思います。これは IGL かなと思われるウーノの仕事が非常にチーム全体に対して行き渡っているんじゃないかなということが予想されるので、やはりヒロイックとしては取りたい人を取れたと言っていいんじゃないかなというふうに今のところは見ています。この試合ベンジャが最もスタッツがいい 1.40 となっていますけれども、55もそれに劣らず 1.36、 特にエントリーにおいては 5-0 と無類の強さを誇っています。この試合に関してはスロースが 0.49 と大ブレーキのように見えるんですけれども、デイ7までのスタッツを確認してみたんですけれども、実はチーム内で一番レーティングがいいのはこのスロースなので、これは単純に BDS に対して相性が悪かったんだなという感じはしています。一方の BDS、相変わらずシャイコが気を吐いてはいるものの、やっぱエントリーのところですね、気になるのは。シャイコでも 0-3。それ以外もみんなほぼオープニングキルがオープニングデスを下回っていますので、先手を取られて BDS としては苦しくなっていった。人数不良を背負っても5-7まで持ち込むのはさすが BDS というところはありますけれども、やはり少し受け身になっている現在のプレイスタイルがEU において苦戦している理由の一つなんではないでしょうか。なので BDS としてはどうやって自分たちの主導権を押し付けていくか。若干個人的には NA のソニックスと似てるなと思っていて、エレムズィの読みがアタッカーリピックによってうまく機能してないんじゃないかなというふうに思います。今まではね、オペレーターの見せ合いである程度エレムズィ中心にこうやって来るんだろうという予測を立てて、その予測のもと BDS はシナリオを書いてたように思うんですけれども、それが防衛において特にできなくなってるんじゃないかなという気はしています。そのあたりが残り2日立て直してメジャーの切符を獲得できるか、 BDS 踏ん張りどころかなというところです。さあ、というわけで最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございました。 EU もね、いよいよ佳境に入っており、シャーロットメジャーに向けたチームが揃いつつあります。メジャーに向けてちょっとハイライト多めにしていきたいなと思ってるんですけれども、なかなかね APAC プレイオフの実況の担当とかありますので、なかなかねできない部分も出てくるんですけれども、頑張ってやっていきますので、グッドボタンやチャンネル登録で応援いただけると嬉しいです。それでは最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございました。また次のレインボーシックスシージの動画でお会いしましょう。ではでは。